Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask that you please switch off your mobile phones for the duration of the ceremony. Could I please also ask that you refrain from standing in the aisles during the ceremony, as we need to keep these areas clear for health and safety purposes. Please stand and welcome our official party.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Farrar, and I am your Master of Ceremonies today. In the case of an emergency, please take note of your closest emergency exit and follow all directions given by the venue's staff. I ask you all to join in singing the first verse of the Australian National Anthem. Graduates and guests, welcome to this graduation ceremony of CQUniversity Australia. Please be seated. At CQUniversity, our graduation ceremonies are all about the celebration of achievements, and we value being able to recognise each and every graduate as they cross the stage. This year, we are delighted to say we have had an unprecedented number of registrations for our graduation ceremony, with more than 400 graduates here celebrating today. While we require graduates to remain in their designated seating for the duration of the ceremony, we would love you to cheer out loud as your friend or family member crosses the stage. I would like to begin by recognising the traditional owners of the land on which we are holding today's ceremony, their elders, past and present, and the Indigenous people who now live within this area. And I extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. You will notice that the University Mace is located centre stage. The mace is a symbol of the authority of the Council of the University and signifies the University's responsibility to work for the sustenance of our present world and to ensure that future generations are not disadvantaged but are enriched by our efforts. I now invite the Chancellor, Mr. Rennie Fritchie, to deliver the address of welcome.
I also formally acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we stand on today, the Turrbal and Yuggera peoples, and their elders past and present. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome from the university community to each and every one of you at this Brisbane graduation ceremony. I especially acknowledge all these graduands out here. You've worked extremely hard, sometimes under very adverse conditions. Many of you are working either part-time or full-time, and yet you have managed to get to the end of this and achieve your degrees. Well done, and congratulations to all of you. I would also like to especially welcome the parents, relatives, friends and supporters of our graduands. In many cases, without you they wouldn't be here anyway if you're parents or relatives, but without your support, many of them would have had great difficulty in achieving what they've achieved today. And in many cases, a lot of you are married and have families, and that, of course, makes a lot of difficulty finding time to study, particularly with little ones and so on, and somehow your families have put up with you for those however many years you have worked away there. I'd also like to welcome particularly official guests, and in addition to them, the staff and management of the university who make it all happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we very much enjoy going around from campus to campus. We have many delivery outlets now in Australia. We have 24 in total dotted right around Australia, from far north Queensland right around to Western Australia, and that number is growing. Brisbane campus is the metropolitan campus with the most domestic students actually. It has 42% from Queensland and interstate, with 58% of our students here in Brisbane coming from overseas. Last week's release of the Australia Research Council Excellence in Research for Australia results shows that CQUniversity was conducting research rated at, above or well above world standard in 14 different categories, and we're immensely pleased and proud of that. Brisbane campus's research strength is growing, both in strength and capacity, with the appointment of specialist research professors. So they don't all live in Rockhampton. Progressively, they're living in a lot of our other campuses as well. So there's been an increased number of publications and an increased number in the number of research higher degree students located at the campus. South East Queensland region has approximately 3,000 distance education students studying with CQUniversity. Brisbane and Noosa campuses are reaching out to support our students through pop-up and pop-in campus events. I know what a pop-up event is. I'm not sure I know what a pop-in event is. Somebody will have to tell me about that. As well as inviting these students to participate in on-campus events such as the recent Health and Wellbeing Week. Brisbane campus continues to offer high-quality learning experience and support services. This year's International Student Barometer survey results demonstrates this by 89% of students rating their learning experience as very good. The campus will continue to improve on these results. Staff at the Brisbane campus continue to be engaged with their communities, which is a mantra of our university. One of the most important things for us is engagement engagement with our students, engagement with our staff, and engagement with our communities who provide the customers and students. I'd just like to say a couple of things to our graduands. Bit of advice perhaps. Just two things I'd like to leave you with. One is, as you go through life, through your careers, you'll come to turning points where you have to make decisions or you have to produce important results. Can I suggest to you that you listen to advice and also seek advice? Quite often people think, well, I better not ask him or her because he or she might think that I can't do it. Look, people are delighted to be asked for advice because it means they value your opinion. And I think you'll be aware all around the world these days that people consult to get to good results. And I really exhort you to do that. The other thing I'd like to remind you of is the university motto, Doctrina Perpetua, perpetual learning or forever learning. Today is an extremely important educational milestone for you. And I think a lot of you are thinking, well, thank God that's over, that's it. Well, it probably isn't. Because research shows that all new graduates change career 5 to 7 times in their working lives. Just think about that. But that almost certainly means that you will need additional technical training, managerial training, commercial training, and other training as you go through these career changes, or indeed as you go up the ladder in your organisations. And of course, our university would be delighted to have you back for some of that further training. Can I just very warmly congratulate you once again on a fantastic achievement, and I hope that you and all of your supporters here have a wonderful day of celebration. Thank you. I call on the Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Scott Bowman, to deliver the opening address.
Mr. Chancellor, I've got to say it's not very often these days that students surprise us, but you lot have really surprised us. I can't believe how many people are here today, over 400. This is our end-of-year graduation season, and last year I think we had around about 130 graduated in Brisbane. And for the whole week of graduations, I think around about 400 along with Sydney and Melbourne. Today, we have, as I said, 400, and this week across Australia, around about 1,000 students. And maybe we're not the brightest people in the university because we've seen the numbers come into the university increasing and increasing, and I guess there was always going to be one day when they started graduating, and this is that day. Now, this did take us unawares, and we've had to change venues here in Brisbane and in Melbourne and in Sydney. And the person that's actually organised that over around about a 2 or 3 week period is Mel Mitchell, the head of our events team. And I want to acknowledge Mel and make her stand up and be really embarrassed. There she is there. And all her colleagues are thinking, oh, that was embarrassing, I'm glad it wasn't me. Can the other events team stand up as well? Look, these are the team. Yeah. Thank you very much. It's been an incredible few weeks for them. They've put on a children's party for 250 kids, a massive ball for around about 500 people, and graduations for about 1,000. And they haven't, not one drink has passed their lips in that 3 weeks. Now, I'm sorry, I am going to disappoint you a bit because I thought what I'd do, this is the last graduation, and I always like to come to graduations and give a word of advice to the students. And I did that in Melbourne, and what I said, in Sydney, and what I said in Sydney yesterday is make sure you surround yourself with good people. Know what your strengths are and also what your weaknesses are, and surround yourself with good people that can make up for those weaknesses. So that's the first word of advice, and I was going to give you three. One from that I gave in Melbourne on Tuesday, one from Sydney yesterday, and then something new today. Do you know, I can't think what I said in Melbourne on Tuesday. So I thought, well, what I do, I go to my colleagues, the Deputy Vice-Chancellors. Here they are, the Brains Trust. There's one, look, Jenny Roberts there. The Brains Trust of the university. I said, can you remember what I said at the Melbourne graduation? And they said, oh, well, you said something about you hope someone would trip over on the carpet. And I said, well, yeah, I always like to see someone trip over on the carpet. So, yeah, I remember saying that. And then you said something about you really love it when kids cry out. And I love it when kids cry out because it means I've got a job into the future because they're going to come to uni. In fact, I saw one little nipper over there nearly come up onto the stage when the Chancellor was speaking. So that was good. So I knew that. I said, yeah, but what was the words of wisdom? What were the words of wisdom that I told the students on Tuesday? Do you know, not one of them could remember. Not one of the DVCs. But luckily, I have a life partner, a wonderful wife, Anita, who's also an academic at the uni. Where's she? Oh, there she is. She couldn't remember either. So really, I can say anything now, and no one's going to remember it after Christmas. In fact, no one's going to remember it by Monday. But I will give you one word of advice. You are incredibly marketable people. We've just got some results through from Graduate Careers Australia that do a survey, and it's a proper government survey of what happens to graduates once they come out of university. That has shown that this university is 10% over the national average. Our students are 10% over the national average for getting jobs. Let me give you an example. If you are here graduating from, let's say, education, and I know there's a lot of you from Noosa, I believe, graduating in education. Where are they? Right. They're going to teach your children in the future. I think we should be worried. No, we shouldn't be worried. We shouldn't be worried at all because, do you know, the national average, I think, for getting a job, if you graduate in education, is 72%. Unless you go to your university, CQUniversity, where it's 92% within 3 months. So you are very marketable. So what is the word of advice? I know some of you are probably desperately looking for jobs and you'll take any job you can get, and that's okay to start with. But as you progress your career, just remember how valuable you are. Make sure that you find an organisation that suits you. When you go to an interview, it's not just about the company selecting you. You should be selecting the company. Because you are incredibly valuable. It is you that's going to make a company or a school or a hospital successful. So make sure that you find somewhere that fits you. And just a little bit of other advice, because I can't remember what the hell I said on Tuesday. Make sure you get the right boss as well. Make sure you get the right boss. I cannot overemphasize this. I've worked at this university, I'm in the 7th year, and I found a university that was incredibly well suited to me, and a boss, the Chancellor, who was the best boss I've ever had. And everything we've achieved in this university, those research results, the growth of the university, are down, really, I think, to a partnership between people, a partnership between me and the Chancellor, a partnership between me and the Deputy Vice-Chancellors, and then partnerships with their teams, and the partnerships right running through the university. So make sure that you are going to enter into an organisation that suits you with a boss that suits you. If you can do that, you are going to succeed, and the companies that you work for is going to succeed. Now look, have an absolutely fantastic afternoon. Mel Mitchell has assured me that we're all going to get home for Christmas Eve. So really enjoy it, smile a lot, laugh a lot, and remember to thank those people behind for all the work they've put in to get you through the degree. Thanks.
I invite the Chancellor to introduce the guest speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure today to introduce our guest speaker, Professor Quong Lee Dow. Quong is a distinguished scholar and active contributor to curriculum reform. He has spent much of his career based at the University of Melbourne. He joined the Centre for the Study of Higher Education in 1966, was appointed Professor of Education in 1973 and Dean in 1978. After 20 years as Dean of Education, Quong became Deputy Vice-Chancellor and then Vice-Chancellor of Melbourne University before formal retirement at the end of 2004. He has provided extensive input into the Commonwealth Government education policy and held a range of Victorian and Commonwealth Government appointments, including the Chair of the Victorian Board of Studies, Member of the Higher Education Council, Member of the Review of Higher Education Financing and Policy, Chair of the Review of Teaching and Teacher Education, and more recently he led a review of student income support reforms and a review of higher education regulation. He's been Deputy Chair of the National Institute for Quality Teaching and School Leadership since its establishment and helped to found the Hong Kong Institute of Education. Quong has received various awards and recognition for his achievements and leadership. He was appointed Member of the Order of Australia in 1984, receiving the Sir James Darling Medal of the Australian College of Education in 1994, and in 2005 was awarded the Gold Medal of the Australian Council for Educational Leaders, and then in 2012 was made an Officer of the Order of Australia. Quong has professional memberships as a Fellow of the Australian College of Educators, the Australian Council for Educational Leadership, and the Institute of Public Administration, Australia. I was joking to Quong before we came on stage that the reason we invited him to give this talk was that I think his robes are absolutely magnificent. He's also a great guest speaker. Please join me in welcoming Professor Quong Lee Dow.
Chancellor Renae Fritchie, Vice-Chancellor Professor Scott Bowman, all members and associates of CQUniversity, new graduates, parents, friends, well-wishers of our new graduates. Let me add my warm congratulations and good wishes to all who are graduating today. This is your day. Enjoy it. Today provides an opportunity to reunite with friends made during your years, either in Brisbane or elsewhere at the university. As well, it's a moment to appreciate the successful completion of sustained study, the development of knowledge and skills in your chosen field, where you properly feel a sense of pride and achievement in having overcome various difficulties, having kept going when you may have felt it all too hard and perhaps too much to cope with. I expect you'll be feeling gratitude too for those who have supported you through this time. Parents, family and good friends, your teachers and others at the university who've been influential at critical moments. I hope you'll want to add to this list the institution of the university itself, as the people of CQUniversity have sought in practical ways to take account of your particular interests, priorities and needs, and to offer you a distinctive education. It's for this reason that I'm pleased today to be again deepening my association with the university and indeed with its Brisbane campus. I'm glad to acknowledge the dynamic leadership of Vice-Chancellor Professor Scott Bowman, who brings a strong team across the various campuses to focus on the core values of the university, especially on the significance of deep engagement with the wider communities with which the university associates. This definitive commitment to increasing engagement and forging enduring links with the world beyond the institution itself has become a hallmark of this university. It is, I think, to be applauded and admired. And for those of you who have studied at the Brisbane campus, I note the well-balanced scope of activities there. A balance between domestic and international students. International students drawn from a variety of countries, especially the countries of South Asia, China, Vietnam and Taiwan, but also South America and from the Middle East. Indeed, here at the Brisbane campus, over 60 nationalities are represented. There's also a good balance between undergraduate and postgraduate students, between male and female students, and across discipline fields, from the various business disciplines, from IT and information systems and communications, and in the fields in the health areas of medical sonography and chiropractic. Earlier this month, one of the major international ranking organisations, QS, published their survey of cities around the world that are particularly effective in assisting university students. I'm not talking institutions, I'm talking cities. Cities characterised by a number of strong and diverse universities and like institutions. Cities that are easy to get about, transport, bikes, with plenty of places and activities and cultural and sporting centres that generally welcome a broad student population. And in fact, this international ranking organisation ranked 75 of what they call best student cities. Not surprisingly, in the top 20 cities, we find places like Paris, London, Berlin, Munich, Vienna, Boston, Toronto, Tokyo. But in that top 20, there are also 4 Australian cities: Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Canberra, 3 cities in which CQUniversity has a campus. I hope you have been able to take advantage of some of the opportunities, those of you who have studied here in Brisbane, the opportunities which the City of Brisbane provides. We know that there are aspects of big cities that are challenging, especially for international students trying to find their way. But after some time here, I hope you've successfully navigated the place and are drawing benefit from what is on offer. In Australia, as in other parts of the world, the number of students at tertiary level has dramatically increased. But in the period ahead, that increase will not slow. The forecast around the world is that by 2030, the number of tertiary students globally will be twice that now in 2015. Much of this growth will require students to study abroad from their home countries. Not only will countries like Australia continue to offer quality education for students from overseas, but a number of countries now are strongly developing their own systems of university education to welcome overseas students. Countries like Singapore, Malaysia, China, some in the Middle East, and of course further growth in many countries in Europe. Indeed, in Europe, there are well-established mobility programs that are now themselves extending and expanding. International students among you need to surmount difficulties to reach graduation day beyond those of local students who can sit in class alongside friendship groups which were formed back in school days, and local students who can then return to the comforts and familiarity of family and home each evening when lectures finish. For many of you, international and indeed some Australian students, you've come to Brisbane alone, distant from the region and culture in which you were brought up and went to school, needing to develop the resilience which enables you to find your way in a new country, find accommodation, learn and study in a language which is only partially familiar, and probably find and undertake part-time work to meet your living expenses. The picture I'm drawing applies to most students who relocate to gain the benefits and advantages that come from advanced university level study. You actually gain much from being forced to cope. You build confidence through knowing you can manage and make your way in an unfamiliar environment. You acquire skills which will help you at work, wherever that may be, and help you succeed at whatever comes next. This can be a highly significant part of the transition from dependence to adulthood and to independent living. For you, graduation day stands for more than simply academic success and the completion of your course of study. Now, some of this will apply also to Australian students graduating today, particularly those who have experienced the discipline of study by distance education, and mature age students who face the demands of work, raising a family, while continuing study over an extended period. Being professionally competent in your field and having built the confidence to look ahead and strike out on your own to meet new challenges in the workplace and in your community, you are in a far stronger economic position to earn well over your lifetime when compared with those who begin work without a degree and with no more than a school leaving certificate. There's ample evidence for this assertion from studies and data across many countries and over many different time periods. From this perspective, higher education is an excellent investment. And as I said earlier, more and more people across the world believe this to be so. Hence the relentless increase in those pursuing further and advanced education. I need to emphasise this unassailable fact because in the present era of economic stress and volatility and technological disruption, getting permanent full-time work is getting harder to such an extent that many people in their late 20s still have jobs with irregular hours, and by this age, around 2/3 of young adults have already worked through up to 5 jobs in their career path. Generation Y is facing a longer road to job security because of changes in the labour market. There are more short-term contracts, more part-time work. There's a mixing of work and study. Young people are not blind to this reality. They, and indeed many of you, expect an unstable working life and will invest more in education. Summing up her extensive life pattern studies of some 4,000 27-year-olds, Professor Joanna Wynne from the University of Melbourne puts it this way, and I quote from her recently published work. She says this: "A new adulthood exists where young people are more flexible than previous generations in their skill set and where they want to be employed. They're more likely to invest in education to get ahead. They're learning to live with precarious work, learning to keep options open and be flexible, trying to find ways of gaining their niche in the labour market through education, increasingly doing lifelong learning. What seems like a quite unstable and drawn-out process has been couched as this is an era in which youth is extending in time. But she says it is far from a period of extended youth. This is what adulthood is like now." Now, before concluding, I want to acknowledge that today's ceremony is special not only for our graduates, but also for our Chancellor. Having been Chancellor of this university for 12 years, and having presided over huge numbers of graduations across campuses across Australia every year, this is Mr. Fritschie's last graduation. Chancellor, I hope you will feel proud of the achievements and the developments of the university under your leadership across this memorable period. CQUniversity has emerged a genuine national institution across its many sites around the country. It serves particular communities of need, and it engages with all its stakeholders in exemplary ways. Chancellor, we have much to thank you for. And Chancellor, today's graduates have engaged with the university at a key period in their lives, and this coincides with a key period in the life of CQUniversity itself. In wishing all graduates good fortune in the years ahead, in both your personal and professional lives, I wish the university and its Chancellor good fortune also. I'm confident in the expectation that your graduates will want to keep contact with their university, and that the university likewise will seek to maintain genuine connection with your lives and futures. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Dow. I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Scott Bowman, to present the graduates.
Will all graduates please stand and smile? Chancellor, as Vice-Chancellor and President, I certify to you and to Council these graduates standing before you today have fulfilled the requirements prescribed by the university, and I ask that you present them with their respective awards.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I'm delighted to present our newest graduates with their awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please honour them with your applause.
Will all graduates please be seated, but remain smiling? Mr. Chancellor, that concludes my formal part in this graduation, and it also sadly concludes our partnership at graduation. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I'd just like to doff my cap to you one last time.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor, and everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure to work with this university over a number of years. And as has been said, certain things have happened and improved over time, and that can only happen if there are a whole lot of elements in place, and that is top students, top staff, and you need top staff to have top students, top management, you need top management to have top staff to have top students, and very strong community support. And you need good management, good staff and good students to have community support. And you also need an effective and functioning council of the university, which is like the board of the university. I think we have all those elements in place, and as a result, I think it's been a pleasure for all of us to work together for the betterment of this university. I've enjoyed it very much. I will miss it. Thank you.
Chancellor, I call upon Dr. Kate Ames, Senior Lecturer, School of Education and the Arts, to present graduates.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates from undergraduate programs. Diploma of Arts, Marilyn Manyanga. Diploma of Business, Jane Elizabeth Grant. Associate Degree of Engineering Civil, Andrew John Maloney. Associate Degree of Learning Management, Stephen Mark Lowings. Bachelor of Accounting, Eduardo Alves Barbosa. Tani Lee Blewett. Ulysses Babano. Philippa May Carey. Joanne Margaret Graham. Ivana Kathleen Brown Grant. Ogud Didumu Ogud. Tracy Faye Rogers-Smith. Celie Roosman. Antoine Valéry Louis Albert Samarut. Leanne Robin Tarlenton. Tene Tahor Llewellyn. Miat Miat Tin. Kiwe Wang. Ganesha Kanchani Alwis Watuthantrig. Bachelor of Accounting with Distinction, Helen Marie Garrett. Sarah Alexandra King. Renee Tara Smith. Bachelor of Arts, Adrian John Pooley. Bachelor of Aviation Technology, Alexander James Priest. Gregory Charles Robertson. Harrison Ty Walters. Bachelor of Aviation Technology with Distinction, Matthew Christopher James Day. Bachelor of Biomedical Science, Vicky Ann Corrigan. Bachelor of Building Design, Janet Alberta Smith. Bachelor of Business Human Resources Management, Holly Jane Bauman. Lauren Louise Cowburn. Ashley Megan Donnelly. Christina Marie Therese Hawkner. Kanyanat Nukupong. Anna Grace Pugh. Tanya Marie Ray. Stacey Ann Cox. Bachelor of Business Human Resources Management and Marketing, Lachlan Thomas Kirkwood. Bachelor of Business Information Systems, Natchapon Nukupong. Bachelor of Business Management, Catherine Elizabeth Conway. Jidai. Nok Min Fong Tran. Bachelor of Business Management and Human Resources Management, Gregory Michael Chambers. Bachelor of Business Marketing, Matthew Carl Brinkman. Lucy Francis English. Tegan J. McLean. Bachelor of Digital Media, Daniel Tremaki. Bachelor of Environmental Health, Aaron Michael Kennett. Bachelor of Environmental Science, Paxton Isaac Kearney. Lorna Wells. Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Sciences, Jessica Lee Coombe. Lisa Marie Curry. Stacey Marie Hurd. Campbell Raymond McIntosh. Natasha Marie Thorne. Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Sciences with distinction, Matthew Fulton. Bachelor of Hospitality Management, Tianru Zhao. Bachelor of Information Technology, Application Development, Maharshi Rajesh Kumar Acharya. Diraj Kamal Gained. Bachelor of Information Technology Application Development with distinction, Tina Leanne Appleford. Lee Allen Metzroth. Bachelor of Information Technology Business Analysis, Drew William Smith Leishman. Timothy Ian McMillan. Bachelor of Information Technology Network Security, Mohammed Rehman Masood. Bachelor of Information Technology Network Security with distinction, Alan Raymond Chilcott. Bachelor of Laws, Lauren Claire Battams. Samuel Gobrail. Pollyanne Lilio-Maeva. Roger Michael Pode. Ancilla Sitya. Rebecca Ann Simpson. Catherine Toledo Cora. Bachelor of Laws with distinction, Tabitha Helene Hilliard. Bachelor of Learning Management, Early Childhood Education, Samantha Abel. Amy Nicole Carl. Erin Renee Hannon. Sarah Mackenzie. Emma Rose Warren. Crystal Emily Shepherd. Vanessa Jane Stevenson. Bachelor of Learning Management, Early Childhood Education with distinction, Anne Teresa Howard. Nicola Michelle Jardine. Kiana Lauren Wright. Bachelor of Learning Management, Primary Education, Rainey Georgia Barker. Samantha Thursday Hill. Taylor Jade Rose Kennedy. Ethan Mann. Jade Renee McCauley. Stacey Lee Margaret Porch. Karina Stephanie Russell. Tyrone Conlon Tornabeen. Courtney Ray Walsh. Jamila Esther Young. Bachelor of Learning Management, Primary Education with Distinction, Rochelle Sarah Covell. Rebecca Louise Crichton. Helen Mary Milburn. Bachelor of Learning Management, Secondary and Vocational Education and Training, Samantha Eloise Idians. Amanda Catherine Oliver. James Gerard Sherry. Inderpreet Kaur Virk. David Campbell Wallace. Bachelor of Learning Management, Secondary and Vocational Education and Training with Distinction, Stephen Allen Cecil Byrne. Stevie Rose Dalton. Amanda Tollner. Bachelor of Medical Imaging with Distinction, Ka Young, Daniel Fu. Bachelor of Medical Science Nutrition, Benjamin Michael Breckman Toussaint. Kelly Jean Krause. Bachelor of Medical Science Pathology, Judith Alse. Cassandra Louise Belaise. Sarah Jane Graham. Tracy Joanne Music. Elizabeth Pullman. Leslie Peter Ryan. Bachelor of Medical Science Pathology with Distinction, Naraka Jane Edge. Bachelor of Multimedia Studies, Zara Manguera. Richard William Talbot. Nathan Ian John Thomason. Bachelor of Music, Contemporary, Matthew Travis Chapman. Bachelor of Music, Creative Music Technology, Damien Joseph Cowrie. Isaac Paul Salway. Bachelor of Nursing, Tina Ann Anderson.